a lot of snow in the winter. Just imagine that. And suppose there's a store that sells snow shovels to dig out when it snows. It sells snow shovels for $10. And then one day there's a great blizzard. Enormous amounts of snow. Everybody needs a snow shovel. And so the store increases the price from $10 to $20 because the demand has gone up. Here's our first question. Is it fair or unfair for the store to raise the price of snow shovels after there's been a huge snowstorm? Let's take our first vote using your programs. Those of you who think it's fair to raise the price, supply and demand, raise the white side of your program. Those of you who think it's unfair, raise the orange part of your program. Let's see what people think. White say it's fair, it's the law of supply and demand. Orange say it's unfair. All right, we have a pretty good division of opinion here on the snow shovel question. I'd say a slight majority of white suggests that a slight majority considers it fair, but many consider it unfair. Let's hear first from someone who thinks it's unfair for the store to raise the price from $10 to $20. Why is it unfair? Raise your hand and tell us why you think it's unfair to raise the price of snow shovels. Yes, stand up and tell us your name, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Xu Chenyuan, and the reason I believe it's unfair is because this increase of price is not because of the increasing cost of its production. It's basically because of its rising demand. So the seller does not need more money to produce their product, the snow shelf, but they basically increase the product because people need it more. So that's why I think it's unfair.
And would you say that whenever people need something, it's wrong to raise the price?
I think in this case, it is a public good since there's only one store that sells the snow shelves. So it ought to, for the greater good, to serve the public.
So it's a case of special need.
Yes.
It's a public good.
Yes.
And what's your name again?
Xu Chenyuan, and English name is Brian.
All right. Thank you. Who disagrees? Who thinks it's fair? Who disagrees that it's a public good? Yes.
I think it's fair because that happens whenever, every time after a typhoon hits Taiwan and the vegetable price just raise up. And it makes common good for people because there are too many people need something, and you have to distribute the things to everyone fairly, so only people who have the money can buy it.
And the fair way of distributing things when there's high demand
Yes.
is for the people who are willing and able to pay to get the vegetables or the snow shovel.
Yes.
All right, stay there and tell me your name.
English name is Wendy. Wendy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wendy. I really want to learn your Chinese name.
Our Chinese name, Ya Jun.
Stay there. Who has a reply? Who disagrees with Yajun and can explain why? Yes?
My name is Youlong. I'm a graduate student of political science.
Okay.
Can I speak Chinese?
So speak. Here, what I want you to do is to speak directly.
Actually, in fact, I don't agree.
All right, but see if you can persuade Yochun.
Yajun.
See if you can persuade her. Speak directly to her.
Okay. May I speak Chinese?
Yes, of course.
It's totally fine.
Of course.
我认为，因为假如在那个情境下，水产的价格上升，除了是市场需求的上升之外呢，重要它产生的因素是自然灾害。那在这个同样的条件下，我们可以想想，在不多久之前发生的331大地震，不管是粮食，不管是饮水，在灾难的情况下都会提高，但是人们不一定普遍的都能够承受那样的价格。那在这个情形下呢，物资的援助跟政府的帮助，不管是各界的团体，在那个情形下就发挥了非常大的帮助，让这个价格能够恢复到同样的水平，让需要某些物资的人们都能够获得他们应该有的物资。我觉得市场价格的提升不能是因为受到自然灾害或是非人为因素的影响而上升。那这是我简短的意见，谢谢大家。
All right. Wait, stay. That's good. Wait, stay there. Keep the microphone. But it's a natural disaster. And not everyone can afford the high price for vegetables or for snow shovels. What would you say in reply?
The material is limited, so you have to try to distribute all you have now.
You can speak in Chinese. I have the machine. Go ahead.
物资有限，你要怎么把这些东西做最有效的运用，然后分给最需要的人，就是把金额提高，看谁可以买。那如果没有人买这些东西的话，他们自然就会价格自然又会再回到原点，那可以买的人就可以继续再去买了。
What do you say?
I think 我觉得，我觉得这有点不公平。因为在这种情况下，并不是因为价格的因素，就算它价格再低，有些人还是没有办法有能力去购买这样的物资。我们可以看到，在纽奥良风灾的时候，那个时候美国政府因为没有办法帮助纽奥良的居民，在那个城市当中发生了许多抢、许多掠夺的就是劫掠的行为，在那个城市中不断的发生，因为他们在争夺稀少的资源。那这个资源政府没有提供，市场又高价的提供的情况下，多数人们需要少数赖以生存的资源被少数人把持着的时候，他们只好靠着非合法的行为去取得这些资源。那就算这个资源的价格再怎么提高，他们无法承受，他们就会采取非合法的途径去取得它。这个跟市场价格关系，我觉得不是那么密切。这是我简短的意见的。
All right, but let me make it a little bit harder for you.
Okay.
Since you're doing so well.
Thanks.
You were speaking about vegetables.
Yes.
Some people would say it's possible to go without vegetables for a while, if you can't afford it. Let's take the example of water, bottled water, after let's say there's been a typhoon or a flood that has created a shortage in the water supply. And bottled water before the typhoon, let's say, cost $1 for a liter. And because the demand for bottled water goes up after an earthquake or after a typhoon, the store owner increases the price of water according to supply and demand to $10 a bottle. Water now, which is even more a necessity, perhaps, than vegetables. Is that fair? Even the water?
Yes.
Because?
Because it's limited. And
It's limited. It is
and
limited.
you have to distribute it fairly, and
Distribute it fairly. And why is it fair to distribute it according to who can pay for it?
it demands more than
I'm sorry?
供不应求.
So it's the law of supply and demand. Now, the law of supply and demand is an economic principle. And what we've just been debating
It's ethical. It's ethical problem.
is whether it's also an ethical principle.
Yes.
And you say it is also an ethical principle.
Problem question.
Or
Question.
Or you're not sure.
It's an ethical problem.
And what is the ethical principle? What is the ethical principle underlying the law of supply and demand? That when there's a shortage of a good, it should go to those who can afford it.
Just give the material, give the thing to people who need it and who can afford it.
Who need it and who can afford it.
Yes.
So need and the ability to pay are two principles.
Yes.
And you think need alone is not enough for the ethical principle.
Yes. You can always find some way out.
All right. Well, so we've had a good start to the discussion about whether the economic principle of supply and demand is also an ethical principle. I want to thank both of our participants for a great exchange. You know, I was pressing our defender of the law of supply and demand. I want to give another example. Do you still have the microphone up there? You've lost it. All right. I'd like to take another kind of case to put to you, because there are various ways of distributing scarce goods. One way is according to the willingness and the ability to pay. That's the principle we've just been discussing. Another principle of distribution is first come, first served. The principle of lining up, of queuing, of waiting. In fact, you might almost say that there are two ways of allocating scarce goods, at least two: paying and waiting online. Let's take a scarce good, sometimes in great demand, tickets to a very popular concert, rock concert, whose tickets are extremely hard to get. Mayday? All right, suppose there's a Mayday concert, and the tickets are priced in a way that enables many people at least to afford the tickets. But as a result, they sell out within a few hours. You've had that experience, haven't you? Trying to get tickets to a Mayday concert? But some people line up and wait and buy the tickets and then sell them at a higher price online to make a profit. Ticket scalping. Now, is there, so that someone who didn't wait in the line but who really wants to see the concert and is willing to pay and able to pay can do so? Let's take a second poll with your programs. Is it fair or unfair ticket scalping for a Mayday concert? Those who think it's fair, raise the white part of your program. Those who think it's unfair, raise the orange. Well, another division of opinion. But I think maybe a slight majority to those who say it's fair. Now, let's take what may be a slightly harder question. ticket scalping of train tickets during